Niners. Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And once again, it is always a pleasure and an honor to be on with the best fans in the NFL, the faithful, the Niner Empire. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys. It is Sunday, it is game day, and the 49ers are in Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 7-5. They are vying for a playoff spot. And 49ers are in the hunt for a playoff spot as well. Well, they currently have, I believe, the sixth spot, but we don't want to. We want to put our best foot forward and continue to win games. And this is going to be a tough game versus the good old Cincinnati Bengals. They're a young, talented team on both sides of the ball. They will present some challenges for the 49ers offense and the 49ers defense. Huge shout out to everyone watching Jay and the Bay Facebook, Jay and the Bay YouTube, and Jay and the Bay Twitter. Hopefully everyone's having a great Sunday morning. We are about less than two hours away from kickoff, about an hour and 45 minutes from kickoff. Can't wait for the game. This show is nothing. I repeat, this show is nothing without the fans in the chat. I want to see you guys in the chat as you usually are. You are usually very active. And you guys make the show, much more livelier. And I call you guys the MVP. Shout out to the MVPs. I will be saying, what's good to all the people in the chat. But let's start off with some breaking news. Well, actually, let's start off with Luke Luna. What's good? Getting it started off right today on a Sunday morning with a 99-cent super sticker, man. I appreciate your contributions to the Jay and the Bay YouTube channel, man. Hopefully all is well on your end, Luke. I know you're excited for the game. Luke Luna says, hey, Jay, just wanted to show love, brother. Maybe we can do a show together around draft time if I can figure this stuff out. Absolutely, man. I'm definitely down. We'll definitely keep in touch, man, and enjoy the game today. Let's get it, GA. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. I appreciate your contributions as well. Let's get it. GA says, my brother, much love to you. Always respect, man. 100. Same to you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Let's get it. Hopefully everything is well in your neck of the woods. But we got to start off with some breaking news. And I just saw a notification on my phone. This was this morning. It was probably like around 6 a.m. that Deebo Samuel will be active. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Let me know in them comments. What are you guys' reaction to Deebo Samuel being active for today's game? And obviously, when Deebo Samuel is in the lineup and he's healthy, he presents, another weapon for Jimmy G to use. He also, he's a pretty good running back we've seen. He can also catch the ball. He's a difference maker when he's on the field for the 49ers. Make no mistake about it. Appreciate that, Luke Luna. But what do you guys feel about Deebo Samuel? I mean, he suffered the groin injury. I think that was against Minnesota. He missed last week's game. I mean, I'm excited for Deebo, but do we really want to see a hobbled Deebo Samuel? I mean, I know he's active for today's game, but he's not going to be 100%. Granted, no player is at 100%. But we've seen this before from Deebo. We've seen Deebo when he plays and he's not 100%, and he's not able to really contribute like he wants to if he was healthy. So the only issue I have with Deebo playing today is if he gets hurt and then he's out multiple weeks. Definitely don't want to see that. That's why I would much rather have him sit out this game because I don't want him to further injure that groin injury. SG Sports Talk Channel, what's good? He says, I'm really excited for Deebo. Same here. Just don't want him to re-aggravate that injury if he's still, if he's still hobbled by it. And he didn't practice all. I don't think he practiced all week. He might have been a limited participant on Friday, but he missed most of the practice. Like I said, excited to see him out there. I just don't want him to get that injury re-aggravated. So what do you guys feel about that? Do you think it's a wise decision? Excuse me. Do you think it's a wise decision for Deebo Samuel to be playing today? I mean, I guess if the doctors clear him, the doctors clear him, right? That means he's good to go. But how do you guys feel about Deebo Samuel playing in today's game against some good old Cincinnati Bengals? We're definitely going to need all the weapons we can get. But I just don't want to see Deebo re-aggravate that injury. We've seen him when he had the hamstring injury last year. He had the foot issues last year, and he just wasn't the same player. So I'm sure, since Deebo will be playing, he will be, I'm sure, on limited snaps. They're going to want to ease him in. But, hey, I just hope the best for Deebo, and I just don't want to see him re-aggravate, that injury. So I appreciate everyone in the stream. If you could hit that thumbs up button, let me and YouTube know that you are enjoying the stream. I agree with SG Sports Talk channel. We definitely need to get a win versus some good old Cincinnati Bengals, and my morning is going really well. Let's also talk about the latest news from. We have a long list on this injury report this morning, and I'm sure this will be updated, especially on the Cincinnati Bengals end, because I know running back Joe Mixon, their corner Awuzie, and T. Higgins are all questionable to play today. I saw that Joe Mixon more than likely will play. He's dealing with an illness. It's non-COVID. But as far as T. Higgins and Awuzie, they're still questionable to play. I'm sure we'll know, in a matter of hours, or actually we should know. We should know now if there's any updated news on those two players, because I think Joe Mixon is most likely going to play, but T. Higgins and Awuzie, the corner and the wide receiver. Awuzie is the corner, Higgins the wide receiver. They're questionable. Last time I saw. But as always with the 49ers, for whatever reason, we got a long list of injuries. And first, we got to start off with cornerback Dante Johnson. Now, I know Dante Johnson is not a fan favorite. I know some people were happy that Dante Johnson will be out, but he's out due to a non-injury. It's due to personal reasons. So hopefully whatever's going on with Dante Johnson, hopefully it gets resolved, or hopefully it's nothing, life-threatening or whatever. I just hope the best for cornerback Dante Johnson. Now, since he will be out of the game, we will see Demo Lenore start on the opposite side of Josh Norman. Hopefully we will see Ambry Thomas as well. I want to see the young cornerbacks who we drafted. Let's see them in action versus this good Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver core. But that's the first guy, cornerback Dante Johnson. He will be out due to personal reasons. Running back Elijah Mitchell, definitely a steal in the draft. Running back Elijah Mitchell will be out for this game, unfortunately, due to concussion, and he's also dealing with a knee injury. Hopefully his status improves. Hopefully his status improves next week in time for, I think, the game against the Falcons next week. So we'll see about Elijah Mitchell, but he won't be playing in this game. Also, running back Trenton Cannon, he's also dealing with a concussion issue. He'll be out. No surprise here for linebacker Dre Greenlaw, defensive lineman Maurice Hurst, and cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. No surprise there. I mean, Maurice Hurst has missed the last couple games. Dre Greenlaw re-aggravated that groin injury, so, I knew he wouldn't play. And, of course, with cornerback Emmanuel Mosley with a high ankle sprain. Talk about, it's never a great time for injuries, or a good time, or a convenient time for injuries, but cornerback Emmanuel Mosley will be out of this game, and that's unfortunate, going up against T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and their other wide receiver. I'm forgetting his name. But they have a trio of good wide receivers, and Tyler Boyd. That's who it is. So they have a trio of good wide receivers who are definitely going to challenge the secondary. I mean, we know Josh Norman is a liability out there at the cornerback position. He's got the peanut punch, but other than that, he's either holding on to a wide receiver or just flat out getting beat. So the Bengals wide receivers definitely have an advantage over the 49ers secondary. There's no mistake about that. Let's say what's up to the people in them comments. Hey, I can't wait for the game to start too, baby. I'm counting down the minutes, man. I think we got a shot at making the playoffs. If we keep playing winning football, we definitely have a shot, SG. Andre, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Dre. He says, thoughts on Debo playing. I want to save him for a playoff run, but then we don't win, there won't be any playoffs. You know, I completely agree with you, Dre. I kind of ranted a little bit on the Debo. Hopefully you heard it, but just to quick summarize, I don't think Debo should play, if he's not healthy. I know the doctors have cleared him, but I just don't think he should play. Why risk it? We've seen a hobbled Debo Samuel before last year with a hamstring injury. He just wasn't the same player. And we'll see how Shanahan uses him. But I just don't want him to re-aggravate, that growing injury. So, but I appreciate you tuning in, Dre. Hopefully all is well. Let's see. Luke Luna, he gave us a early prediction for the 49ers and Bengals game. He's got the 49ers winning 34-23. And let me know what you guys think. For those that are in the chat right now, what do you guys think of these injuries? Whose injury here do you think will be, the most, whose injury here will be most significant? I think you could easily say running back Elijah Mitchell. You could easily say cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. I think those are the two injuries that, will make this offense and defense have to play even better in Elijah Mitchell's absence and in cornerback Emmanuel Mosley's absence. Because Elijah Mitchell, we got Jeff Wilson Jr., but is he ready to take on a load of carries? Is he ready to run the ball 15 to 20 times? He has been back and I know he re-aggravated that knee injury as well in last week's game. So we'll see what happens when he starts to get hit. But we're definitely going to need a strong running game. And the Bengals have a top 5 run defense, so that's not going to be easy. And, of course, the quarterback Emmanuel Mosley, him being out, we got Norman, Lenore, K'Wan Williams. Those are projected to be the 3 starters. And the Bengals clearly have an advantage, over us in that department. I appreciate the love, SG, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Luke Luna says Cowboys doing us a favor with Washington. I know a lot of people aren't worried about the Cowboys like Ant and Alex, but I don't want to face that offense if we make the playoffs. There's no question. The Cowboys have a formidable offense. They got Dak Prescott. They got running game. They got wide receivers. I think their offense is probably better than this Cincinnati offense we're going to be playing. I think I saw something. I was watching the Cowboys and Washington game, and they had a graphic on the TV that showed the Cowboys offense. I think they were number 1 overall, and I think they were like top 5 in the passing and rushing category. So there's no doubt their offense is formidable. The Dallas Cowboys. J.R. Meadows, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, JR. Thank you for blessing us with your presence on the intheBay YouTube channel today on this Sunday morning. Hopefully all is well. I believe JR is saying Debo should be used as a decoy. I mean, honestly, I don't want him out there. I hope the best for Debo. I just don't want to see him get hurt and then he'll be out for the next few weeks, right? Like, we don't want that. That's like a worst case scenario, but we shall see what comes to fruition. Shout out to Blue True. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Blue True. Hopefully all is well in your neck of the woods on this Sunday morning. SG Sports Talk channel gives us his opinion on Debo. And for those in the chat, what do you guys think about Debo? Should Debo be starting in this game or should he be an active participant? I know he was cleared by the doctors, but we've seen a hobbled Debo before. We'll see what happens, man. I just hope the best. SG Sports Talk channel says, I don't think it's a wise decision to start Debo in this game against the Bengals. Hey, I agree with you, man. Luke Luna says he hates the idea I would like to see him sit more weak, and we're talking about Debo. Since he's playing, I hope they use him more as a decoy than an actual weapon. There's no question when Debo's on the field, he presents matchup problems for the defense, whether it's him running the ball, whether it's him catching the ball. But I don't think he's ready. And granted, I haven't seen him in practice all week, but I just don't want to see a hobbled Debo Samuel. NYCE, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully your Sunday is going well, man. He says, what's good, Jay? Hope all is well. Nice hat as well. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. He says, I think Debo will play, but not as much. I think Kyle isn't sold on the IU show and probably feels just Debo's presence might help. That's true. Debo's presence could help. We'll see if they actually, do you think Debo will get carries in this game? That'll be interesting to see. But we'll see. But we're going to need more production from, the running game, Jeff Wilson Jr., Jermichael Hasty. I'm not sure if the running back we signed, Brian Hill, is active in today's game. I'm not sure. That's something I have to look up. But we're going to need another monster game from Kittle. That's for sure. We're going to need Kittle to have another monster game. And speaking of Kittle, something that's going to be in his favor when we look at the Bengals. So we just looked at the 49ers non-active players. Now let's look at the Bengals non-active players. They're going to be missing one of their top linebackers, linebacker Logan Wilson. He actually leads the Bengals in tackles at the middle linebacker position. He's going to be out for this game due to a shoulder injury. So that's going to hurt the Bengals defense. And also this should help Kittle. Who's going to guard Kittle, even though I think, he's a matchup nightmare anyway. It doesn't really matter who's on the field against him. He's going to be able to be productive as long as Jimmy G can get him the ball. But these are the Bengals' latest injuries. So obviously, I mentioned the linebacker Logan Wilson. They're also missing reserve linebacker Marcus Bailey, defensive tackle Tyler Shelvin, and then game time decisions. I've heard halfback Joe Mixon should play. He's got an illness. He's got cold symptoms. So we'll see what he'll be able to do when he's on the field. Now, cornerback Awuzie and wide receiver T. Higgins, those players are questionable. I can do a quick search to see if there's any updated news on them, but because Awuzie, I believe he's their best cornerback. So we'll have to see if there's anything. Yeah, I'm doing a quick search online. There's nothing within the last hour, so I guess we'll know before game time, obviously, especially if Awuzie and Higgins will play. And also Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had that pinky injury in last week's game against the Chargers. And, I don't think he was listed on the injury report. So it seems like, that pinky won't bother him, but we'll see what happens when he gets hit. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. So we'll see what happens with that injury, with that pinky, when Burrow gets hit by the likes of Eric Armstead, Arden Key, Nick Bosa, DJ Jones. So we'll see how he continues to play, once there's pressure on him. Let's see. Appreciate that SG Sports Talk channel, man. I appreciate the kind words, man. Luke Luna says, I was bummed he has to miss this game. I had him getting a pick. Number 27 at least stays on his assignment. The safeties can aid the mistakes. We stop the run. We can play too high. So, and I think you're talking about Dante Johnson, that he's going to miss this game. I just hope, it sucks that Dante Johnson, whatever it is in his personal life, hopefully, that situation rectifies itself, and good comes from that situation. Hopefully, it's nothing bad. But I'm excited for the opportunity that the other players have, like Demo Lenore. He'll be able to start opposite of Josh Norman. It'll be a nice matchup with Lenore, whoever he matches up with, whether that's Tyler Boyd, whether that's Jamar Chase, whether that's T. Higgins. That'll be a good matchup for him in his rookie year, because that's definitely one of the three better wide receiver trios in the NFL. Make no mistake about it. And also, Ambry Thomas. We haven't really seen. I've seen Ambry Thomas on a few defensive snaps here and there in the last few games. But hopefully, Ambry Thomas gets some more snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Let's face it, after this year, the only players who are still signed through next year are the rookies we drafted, Thomas, Hufanga, Lenore, and Jimmy Ward. Oh, and also Emmanuel Mosley. Those are the 5 defensive backs who we signed through after this year. So, Ambry Thomas needs to get some snaps. He could potentially be a starter next year in this secondary, or at least play meaningful snaps. We got a super chat, 49ers first takes. What's good? I hope all is well in your neck of the woods, man. Hopefully you're doing much better, man. Like I said, man, if you need to talk, just holler at me, whatever, IG, YouTube, whatever. But hopefully all is well for you, 49ers first takes. Hopefully the 49ers can get a win today, but I appreciate that donation to the channel. He says, what's up, my man? Thanks for holding it down. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. And hopefully, like I said, you're doing much better. Let's continue on with these comments. Luke Luna says Ward and Tart can save some behinds. Yeah, but we're dealing with a trio, a pretty good trio of wide receivers, and that's if T. Higgins can play. And our corners, I feel like our only shot this Sunday, today, against the Bengals is if we get pressure on Burrow. If we can't get pressure on Burrow, I think he can definitely have some big plays and some positive gains against our secondary. Because, Josh Norman, come on, man. Luke, Double L. Josh Norman, he leaves a lot to be desired. Lenore is a rookie. But we'll see. The pass rush is the secondary's best friend. And if we can get to Joe Burrow, I think we can definitely make his day a lot harder. And let's make him speed up his processing rate. Let's make him get out of the pocket. Let's make him feel uncomfortable. If we do that, I think we'll definitely have a better shot. I will definitely get into the 5 keys to the game, SG. I will definitely get into that. Just you wait, man. Luke Luna, yeah, the Cowboys are beating the bricks off that good old Washington football team. The Cowboys are a pretty good team. SG Sports is giving us an early prediction. He's got 63-0. Wow. Hot diggity dog. NYCE says losing Mosley is going to be tough. I think Jeff and Jermichael Hasty will do a good job as long as Kyle gives them the attempts. And that's the thing. You bring up a great point. We haven't really talked about the Cincinnati Bengals. Who are the Cincinnati Bengals? What do they do well? But I agree. Losing Mosley is tough. He is our best corner, and we would absolutely need him going up against these wide receivers. But you mentioned the running game. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals have a top 5 run defense. They do a pretty good job against the running game. And, we're going to have a tough time. We're definitely going to have a tough time trying to stop this run. I should say we're going to have a tough time trying to run the ball against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's for sure. They allowed only 60 yards rushing against the Chargers, and Eckler, he's a pretty good running back for the Chargers. But they have a top 5 run defense. That's going to be an issue. Not only can they stop the run, but they can also get after the quarterback. We got to watch out for Tyler Hendrickson. He's going to be lined up opposite of Trent Williams. And I'm comfortable in that matchup. I'm comfortable whoever lines up opposite Trent Williams. I'm good. Trent Williams has been the best offensive lineman, period, in the NFL. So I'm comfortable with that. But they have another defensive end in Sam Hubbard. And he has 7.5 sacks. He's second on the team with 7.5 sacks. He's going to be lined up against Tom Compton. Now, I think Tom Compton, we'll see. He's shown flashes where he looks okay. Last week he gave up that safety against Seattle. So we'll see which Tom Compton comes into play. But we might have to give Tom Compton help on the right side of that offensive line, because I don't know if he can handle, I don't know if he can handle Hubbard on his own, because he looked pretty silly against Carlos Dunlap when he gave up that safety. So the right side of our offensive line may need some help. That's for sure. And but there's no doubt we're going to have to give rushing attempts to Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jermichael Hasty. I think ideally Jimmy G throws for under 25 passes, but I don't know if we can do that this game. I think Jimmy's going to have to throw more than 25 passes. I think Jimmy will have to be accurate with the ball. We got to get the ball to our playmakers. Kittles, I think, should have another big game, over 100 yards, maybe 2 touchdown catches. But we're going to have a hard time establishing the run, I think, against this Bengals front. And since they do sack the quarterback, we're going to have to get rid of the ball fast so we can negate their pass rush. Cincinnati, they also have young offensive playmakers. They got Joe Mixon, running back. You know, Bay Area kid. He's representing the Bay well, but he's pretty good at running back. He's averaging about 4.1 yards per carry. He does have an illness, so we'll see how effective he can be, you know, when he's battling, you know, cold-like symptoms. But they got the 3 receivers, Jamar Chase, Higgins, Boyd. They're going to present a lot of problems to this secondary. And what is DeMeco Ryans supposed to do? I mean, our best bet is to get after Joe Burrow and make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. But those are some of the things that the Bengals do well. Top 5 run D. They're top 5 in sacks. They can run the ball. And Joe Burrow, he's having a pretty good year. 23 touchdowns, over 3,000 passing yards, 68% completion percentage. But Joe Burrow has thrown 14 interceptions this year. So there could be opportunities for the secondary as far as the turnover aspect in this game. David Villamilla, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. He says, what's up, brother Jay? Hopefully your Sunday is going well, man. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Appreciate your support. DP, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. DP says, what's good? Finally, hey, Jay, we got Kittle. Oh, yeah, I think Kittle should have a repeat performance of last week. I don't know who on Cincinnati can cover him. I think Kittle is just a mismatch nightmare, and I just don't think that anyone can really. Maybe there's someone that can slow him down, but if Jimmy can get him the ball accurately, we've seen what Kittle can do when he's got the ball in his hands. That's for sure. Luke Luna, no carries, maybe a short throw to Debo, but no carries. I think we spread the love all around today. Yeah, I think so. I think Debo's effectiveness will be limited today, I think, due to him still recovering from that injury. And, you know, I don't think Shanahan wants to push him too much. You know, we still need to keep Debo for the stretch run. We still have we got the Falcons, the Texans, the Titans, and then the Rams. So we still got 4 more games. We would love to have Debo in the rest of those games. I agree with you, Deneen. I agree with you. We need Kittle to be on his A game, and we need Jimmy G to be on his A game. I know Jimmy G, he kind of is who he is. We don't know which Jimmy G we want to get game to game. Hopefully today we can get the turnover-free Jimmy G. I like that Jimmy G a lot better when he's not turning over the ball. He's making accurate throws. He's making good reads. I believe that Jimmy G still exists, but we didn't see him last week. That's for sure. Luke Luna says Jimmy has a similar week as last week. He goes for 300, 2 or 3 tutties, but no pick this week for Jimmy. Maybe 1, maybe. Yeah, I think he's going to have to throw probably more than 25 passes, I would imagine, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to have a consistent run game. But we'll know in the first quarter. We'll know for sure how the Cincinnati team, does against the run, because we know statistically they're a top 5 run defense. But once they get on the field, hey, things can change. And I wonder, what does Shanahan do? Do we see Jimmy G in shotgun a lot to begin the game? Because we don't want to go after, or we don't want to run right into the Bengals' strength, which is their run defense, right? Is that a wise thing to do? I mean, I know our strength is running the ball as well, but we don't have, basically our top running back in Elijah Mitchell. So maybe we throw Maybe we start throwing in the beginning of the game to set up the run. Maybe that's something we do, because I think Cincinnati is expecting us to run the ball. So maybe we do something a little bit different. We'll see. But it all depends on how Jimmy G is. If he's looking accurate, he's throwing the ball well, then yeah, I think we'll throw the ball a little bit more than run. But, we'll see. Deneen says, Bosa going to have pressure. What do you think, Jay? Absolutely. Bosa's got 11 sacks coming into this game. I like the matchup against Bosa versus Jonah Williams. Hell, I like the matchup Bosa versus anyone. And I think Bosa will apply some pressure. I'm looking at Arden Key as well. Samson, DJ Jones, Jordan Willis. Hell, Jordan Willis had a sack last week. So maybe we can see some Jordan Willis. But yeah, I think that's going to be the key to the game for this 49ers defense. We have to get after Joe Burrow. We can't let him sit in the pocket and be comfortable because he's going to eat this secondary up. He's got wide receivers. He's got tight ends. He's got a running back. The key to this game for the defense is pressure. Make him feel uncomfortable and make him process his information much faster because he's thinking, oh, I got Bosa coming in. I got Armstead up the middle. Got Arden Key on the edge and Jordan Willis. So that's going to be the key. That's going to help this secondary out a lot if we can get pressure on Joe Burrow. SG Sports Talk Channel says, how many touchdowns will Jimmy G throw in this game? Man, that's a great question. I would imagine I could see 2 or 3 touchdowns because I think Jimmy's going to have to throw a little bit more. And if we could put up 23 points again in the first half like we did against Seattle, I'll take that right now, baby, because I think this is going to be a high game. I think this is going to be a game in the 30s. Cincinnati's going to score on us. I mean, I know Fred Warner should be back today, but I think you guys see the secondary. I mean, you think Josh Norman is going to shut down anyone that he's guarded? I'm very optimistic, but I'm realistic. I know Josh Norman's going to get beat. I know Lenore is going to get beat. And I think D'Amico Ryan's going to have a tough time in trying to slow down this Bengals offense. That's for sure. David McNew, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Hopefully your Sunday is going well, David McNew. Everything is all good here. We're less than we're about an hour and a half away from kickoff. Can't wait for the game to start, man. David Edmondson, what's good? And DE represents that Real Talk Niner Talk. I was watching you guys' show yesterday. Excellent show. You guys were talking about Jimmy G, Sweet Nothings. But I enjoyed the Real Talk Niner Talk show though, man. And thanks for tuning into my stream, man. I appreciate it. David says, what's good, Jay? This is going to be a long game today. When we are worried about Dante Johnson being out, that speaks volumes. We need to keep the Bengals off the field, period. No, I agree with you. But I agree with you that we need to keep the Bengals off the field. And the way you do that, you got to run the ball. I don't know if we'll be able to do that successfully. I don't know if we'll be able to have a 12, 13-minute drive like we did in the previous games, which it would be great, but I don't know if we should expect that. The Bengals, like I said, top 5 run D, top 5 in sacks. I'm not worried about Dante Johnson being in. Hopefully, his personal issue gets resolved and, hopefully everything's okay from there on in the future. But I'm excited for the opportunity of Demo Lenore, Ambry Thomas. I think even if they get beat, whatever, they're gonna have to learn and have to get there. They're gonna have to struggle first before they can, that's how you get better. You got to struggle. You got to know what you're not good at, and then that's how you get better. So I think there will be some, offensive opportunities for the Bengals today, but I'm not worried about Dante Johnson, at least not on the field. That's for sure. SG Sports Talk. Thoughts on Trey Area? Now, speaking of Trey Area, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Trey should play in this game? I think we should bring Trey in. I think we should bring Trey Lance in. Why not bring him in? We can use him and clearly Shanahan's not worried about next year. Shanahan is trying to win this year. He's not concerned about what's going to happen next year. He's focused clearly on this year. He wants to get this 49ers team into the playoffs. So we should put our best playmakers on the field. And I think Trey Lance should get in. We can use him, in some read option plays. He can run the ball, use his athleticism. We may need a boost from Trey because the running game will be lacking. So I think this will be a good spot for Trey. And I don't see why not. I don't see why we shouldn't bring him in. What do you guys think on Trey? You think Trey should play against the Bengals today? I guess you could say that every week, but, without Elijah Mitchell, a hobbled Deebo Samuel, we may need another playmaker in there. I appreciate everyone in the comments section today. I appreciate you guys to leave a thumbs up for your boy, Jay in the Bay. Enjoy my world. What's good? Keep doing big things. Enjoy my world. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. And the Falcons, and that's who Joy roots for, the Falcons and Niners getting it on in Santa Clara. I can't wait for the game. I'm looking forward to it. Enjoy my world. Deneen says, hey, Jay, you agree too? Bosa's going to feel the pressure. No, I don't think he'll feel the pressure. I think he's going to apply pressure to Joe Burrow. That's what I think is going to happen for sure. He's definitely going to apply pressure to Joe Burrow. And we're going to have to do that. We're definitely going to have to do that in order for Joe Burrow to not feel comfortable in the pocket. That'll make his job a lot harder. And that's going to be the key. The defensive line has to be the key in today's game. SG Sports Talk is giving us an update on the Chiefs versus Raiders game. Man, 35-3. Sometimes things are just too much to overcome. Deneen says, OMG, Ravens getting beat down. Jackson hurt. Ouch. That's not good. Not good for the Ravens. We got CG Ruthless in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, CG. How you feeling about the game, man? Let me know how you feeling about the game in them comments. But thanks for tuning in, man. Hopefully all is well on a Sunday for CG Ruthless. NYCE 1030 gives us his synopsis of the Jimmy G we should see today. Jimmy G, 23 of 30, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'll take that right now. I'll take it right now. Special teams needs to have a strong game. Yeah, I mean, at the bare minimum, it's Richard Hightower. He's a special teams coach. Is he really responsible if Robbie Gould misses a field goal? I don't think so. Is he really showing Robbie Gould how to kick? Robbie Gould is a veteran. He doesn't need Richard Hightower to tell him how to do his job. But at the bare minimum, the special teams unit needs to be disciplined. They need to know the situation. They need to, not turn over the ball. Like certain things like that. But yeah, I agree. Travis Benjamin, if he's back there again, hold on to the ball. Don't allow the opposing team, the Bengals, to get another possession because you fumble. Obviously, you got to be mindful of the trick plays on special teams. So definitely have to do a better job in special teams today. NYCE says they need to bring something to these games. I'm looking at Jennings stepping up and we win. Niners 35, Cincy 20. Wow, man. Woo. That's an interesting prediction, man. But yeah, I like to see Jennings step up. I think we're going to need Jennings to step up. Obviously, Ayuk, Kittle, maybe Trent Sherfield. We'll see. I think he had a catch or two in last week's game. But I'm really intrigued to see if we're able to run the ball against this Bengals defense. I think it's going to be very tough. And maybe we start throwing first to set up the run. Maybe we do that. Uh-oh, Tommy Huxley, what's good? What you mean, Tommy? Tommy says we losing this game. Why, man? What do you think that, Tommy? Let me know in them comments. Bay Area Throwbacks, what's good? Bay Area Throwbacks says checking in, what's good, man? Hopefully all is good. Thanks for coming into the stream, man. I know you're excited for the game. You think the Niners can pull it out? Let me know in them comments. Tommy Huxley, Washington getting baptized if we win, taking that 6th seed. Yep, that's right. NYCE, yeah. Hopefully DJ Jones can make a play so I can say, "Go DJ." That's my DJ. Go DJ. DJ Jones, he was making plays last week against Seattle. And hopefully he can make some more plays against Cincinnati. I think their offensive line is solid. Cincinnati, they did give up 4 sacks last week against the Chargers. I think there will be opportunities for us to get in Joe Burrow's face and make him feel uncomfortable. I agree, Tommy. I agree with that. I don't think this team is good enough to overcome several turnovers. And also, if we lose the turnover battle, I don't think Jimmy G can throw 2 interceptions again this week. And hopefully he learned from it. That's all we can hope, that he learned from it and he plays better. I mean, that's all we can really hope for, man. Sounds good, CG. I'll try to stop in, man. Say what's up, man. That's cool. You're doing a play-by-play reaction, man. Tommy Huxley. I wonder if Demo or Ambry starts at corner. I think it's going to be Demo Lenore. I think Demo Lenore will start at corner, opposite of Josh Norman. In the slot, our third corner will be K'Wan Williams, and I think Ambry will be the 4th cornerback. So I think Ambry, we should see some defensive snaps in this game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them get some experience. That's what it's all about. I can't speak for all 49er fans, but I'm not expecting Lenore to shut down, his side of the field. I just want to see him get experience because we're going to need him and Ambry next year for sure. And Hufunga. We're going to need all of them next year because I would imagine the 49ers would sign maybe a few vets in free agency at the cornerback position, but hopefully we draft some more corners as well. Tommy says, can we win a shootout? It depends on what type of Jimmy G we get. We've seen Jimmy G in some shootouts, New Orleans, a few games in Arizona. It all depends on what type of Jimmy G we can get. Deneen says, but can Trey hold it together under pressure? I mean, he can run. And that's how I think we should use Trey. Why not use all your playmakers at your disposal? Why not bring him in? It would be a different look for this Bengals defense to see Trey Lance in at quarterback. Is he going to pass? Is he going to run? I don't see why not, especially with Elijah Mitchell being out. You got a hobble Debo. You don't really want to, play him that much if you don't have to. So, hey, I think we should bring Trey in. Hopefully we get to see some Trey Lance, but that might be wishful thinking. Let's see. There's something else. I had some questions for you guys. Let's see. Now, here's a question. Can we keep Joe Burrow under 300 yards passing? Joe Burrow, he's having an excellent year. He can throw interceptions. He's thrown 14 interceptions already. But can this secondary hold Joe Burrow to under 300 yards? I think the only way is we can't give up big plays. We can't have any defensive pass interference penalties either. I mean, we know Josh Norman can do that. If he's not punching the football out, he's either getting penalized or getting burnt. So can we keep Joe Burrow under 300 yards passing? I think that's going to be a key. Can't allow any big plays to his trio of wide receivers. Joe Mixon, I believe, will be starting, but he's battling an illness. So I think we can slow down their run game. But can we get pressure on Joe Burrow? That's what it's going to come down to. But I think if we win this game, I think Joe Burrow throws for under 300 passing yards. Let's continue on with these comments. We got DR in the house. What's good? DR says the 49ers losing this game. What you talking about, DR? Who your Cardinals play today, man? Let me know in them comments. Who y'all Cardinals playing today? You know it, Deneen. You know it. What's good? Hey, we are in, I believe we are in the 6th or 7th spot right now. Washington is losing. I know we don't necessarily have to win out, but to put our best foot forward, get it to have great momentum, we need to win the rest of these games. And Cincinnati will be a tough opponent based on the weapons they have on both sides of the ball. But hey, we'll see, man. Sky's the limit. Wow, 38-3. The Raiders, or excuse me, the Chiefs are beating down the Raiders. Wow. Robert Murray, what's good? And in response to the question about Trey, should Trey play in today's game versus the Bengals? Robert Murray says Trey should get snaps to get better and be ready in case Jimmy gets hurt. Now, that's true. But also, I think he should play to give the Bengals a different look. Also, he would help the running game, I think. But we'll see. Shanahan hasn't really put him in. I don't remember. When was the last time Trey was actually in the game in the regular season? I think besides I think in the blowout game, he came in. But other than that, like actual, oh, this is a close game. The game is still in the balance. I don't remember the last time Trey was in. Has he got in after Arizona? I know he got in the blowout against the Rams, but I don't think he's really had significant snaps since that Cardinals game. That's funny. Tommy says fire low tower immediately. It's funny because there's only 17 games in the season. Every game it's like life or death. It's like, oh, the special team was garbage. Oh, just fire the coach. Like it's not always that simple. It doesn't just come down to one game. Now I will admit the special teams, we haven't really had, and I don't know why, because I see other teams have at least speed in the special teams department. Like at least just have someone run 4-2, 4-3 that can get down the field. We haven't really had a player like that. Jet McKinnon last year, that left a lot to be desired. Trenton Cannon, unfortunately, he got hurt, but I think he had a few good kickoff returns. But and Brandon Ayuk, unfortunately, he hasn't really been a difference maker in the punt return. Is that Richard Hightower's fault, or is it more about execution, planning? Obviously, they didn't have a good week last week, but hopefully they can improve today against the Bengals. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, SG Sports Talk. I wouldn't be surprised if Robbie Gould is here next year unless he retires. Robbie Gould is, I think he's under contract next year, so we shall see what comes to fruition, DR. I appreciate everyone in the stream. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to Jay and the Bay. And I appreciate everyone. This is a lively chat, man. I appreciate it. You guys are really the MVPs. Rob says the Bengals' best tackler is out. Yep. Let's run the ball and control this game. Yeah, and for those that are just tuning in, I mentioned some of the inactives and active players on both rosters. So for the Bengals, just to reiterate, linebacker Logan Wilson, he is the Bengals leading tackler. He leads the Bengals with 92 tackles. He plays the middle linebacker position. Unfortunately, he's out with the shoulder injury. So that's definitely going to hurt this Bengals front. So maybe that would help the running game. Maybe that'll help the 49ers running game. Logan Wilson loves to get downhill. He loves to attack the ball carrier, but if he's not there, there's got to be somewhat of a drop-off, right? So maybe the 49ers can run the ball. Does one player make that huge of a difference? Maybe not, but, hey, if we can get an extra yard or two per carry average, that's a huge deal. So with him being out, Logan Wilson, hey, the Niners could have some more opportunities in the run game. And Joe Mixon, the running back, he's expected to play. T. Higgins and Awuzie haven't heard word yet. They're still questionable. I wouldn't be surprised if they played, but we'll see how effective they'll be. And I'm sure everyone now, they know the Niners non-active players, but I'm just going to put it up there just to reiterate. Obviously, cornerback Dante Johnson's out, non-injury related. Running back Elijah Mitchell, running back Trenton Canyon, linebacker Dre Greenlaw, defensive lineman Maurice Hurst, and cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. Those players are all out. And it's a long injury list for both teams, that's for sure. And speaking of, let's talk about the running game. So we know that the Bengals, they got Joe Mixon. He's a pretty good running back. The Niners started the year, like the first 6 or 7 games, were pretty bad at stopping the run. This last month, though, we've been pretty good in slowing down the running game. So Joe Mixon versus the Niners run defense will be an interesting matchup. But will we be able, without Elijah Mitchell active, with Elijah Mitchell being inactive today, can the 49ers have an effective running game? Now, we know their best linebacker is out. So can Jeff Wilson Jr. pick up the slack? Can Jermichael Hasty pick up the slack? That'll be something that will be interesting, because I think this offense works best when it has a healthy balance of run versus pass. And I think they help each other out. So what do you guys think? Do you think without Elijah Mitchell, can the 49ers have an effective running game? The Bengals have been a top 5 run D, but without their best linebacker. So there's got to be somewhat of a drop-off. I'm thinking they can. But we'll see what Jeff Wilson Jr. does, because obviously he's not as good as Elijah Mitchell, but he's still a pretty good back. But yeah, if we can get at least 4 or 5 yards per carry, that'll do wonders for this offense. And Tommy agrees with Rob. DR still hating. Tommy Huxley says, Jay in the Bay, maybe it's a blessing in disguise to get Demo some playing time. Hopefully the D-line helps out. I completely agree with you, Tommy. I mean, we know that Demo and Ambry Thomas are corners who will be here, for the foreseeable future, at least the next 2 or 3 years. So let's get them some snaps now. Dante Johnson, Shanahan loves Dante Johnson, but I don't really see why. I mean, I know he knows the defense, but we can get better. We can definitely do better. But with Dante Johnson out, I'm hoping that Lenore and Ambry Thomas can make the most out of their opportunity and, play to the best of their ability on Sunday. We're going to need it. And the D-line is going to have to be key. The D-line is going to have to get pressure. D-line will definitely have to get pressure. Yeah, shout out SG Sports Talk Channel to the best 3-point shooter of all time is Steph Curry. Yeah, I hear he's 7 threes away. So, man, shout out to Steph Curry, obviously a Bay Area legend. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him beat that record. The Platform with Lawrence Jackson. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, LJ. How is your Sunday going? He says, what's happening, Jay and the faithful? I know you're excited for this game, man. I am too. We're about an hour away from kickoff. I can't wait for the game to start. SG Sports says, Joe Burrow's going to finish the game with 200 yards, but not 300. Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, DR. Forgot about that. I can't wait for that game. Hopefully the Rams beat the Cardinals on Monday Night Football prime time. That's going to be a pretty good game. 2 division rivals, of course. I think Kyler and D-Hop should be healthy. So we'll see. They've had a huge layoff, DR. They've been out multiple games. They might be a little rusty. We'll see. The Platform with LJ. He gives us his prediction of the game. He's got the Niners winning 38-10. Okay. All right. DR says the Cardinals finally get a televised game. Well, they haven't been really much to talk about the last, since Kurt Warner left. So that could be why. The Cardinals, they haven't really done much since Kurt Warner left. So that could be why they don't get that much TV time, man. But hey, let's see what you guys do on Monday Night Football prime time. That should be a great matchup. Obviously, the Rams, I think they beat the Jags last week, so they want to continue their win streak. And I think the Cardinals, I don't know who y'all. I think y'all had the bye week last week. Is that right? I don't know, but that should be a hell of a game. Let's see. David says if the Cardinals win, they clinch a playoff spot. Okay. Tommy says, yeah. So Tommy, I saw a report this morning. It was about 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that Debo will be active today. I spoke about this earlier on in the show. I don't want Debo to be out there because I don't want to see a hobbled Debo Samuel. We've seen a hobbled Debo Samuel last year when he had the hamstring injury, he had the foot injury. So I don't, he'll play today, but I agree with you. Running him would be risky. And we still got 4 more games left in the season. We need Debo Samuel for the stretch run. And I don't think he should play, but the doctors have cleared him. So we'll see. We'll see how he'll be utilized. Rob Murray says Jeff Wilson is a baller. Still got confidence he can get it done. Okay. Well, he's going up against a pretty good defense, but without their best linebacker. So we'll see if Jeff Wilson makes the most out of his opportunities. And the game is won and lost in the trenches. Can the 49ers offense, establish that line of scrimmage and create some holes for Jeff Wilson Jr.? I definitely love the way he runs. Jeff Wilson Jr. runs with attitude, and he's ready to hit somebody. Tommy Huxley says, Robert, I hope so, but he, as in Jeff Wilson Jr., was looking horrible the last couple of games. I don't know about horrible. He wasn't really given too much of an opportunity. I don't recall. You look at Jeff Wilson Jr. stats. Let me pull it up real quick, but I don't think he wasn't really given that much of an opportunity. I know the Niners want to slowly work him back from that meniscus injury. But he didn't really do much the last few games. And when I say do much, he wasn't really given that much of an opportunity. But let me pull it up on the big screen. Let's see what Jeff Wilson Jr. did. So this is Jeff Wilson Jr.'s stats. So he missed, obviously, most of the season. He came back in week 10. Week 10 against the Rams, he had 10 carries. Only averaged about 2.8 yards per carry. So obviously we want that to be better. The next week against the Jags, he had 19 carries, 50 yards, but it only averaged about 2 yards a carry. And then against Minnesota, he only had 2 carries. But I believe Elijah Mitchell was back, I believe. And then against Seattle, he didn't have any carries. He only had 2 offensive snaps. And we're talking about Jeff Wilson Jr. But that's last week his knee flared up. Last week his knee flared up, so that's why he didn't play that many. He only played 2 snaps. So Tommy, you are correct. Jeff Wilson Jr., as far as his yards per carry, it's not really where you want them to be for a running back. You at least want 4, 5 yards per carry. And right now, Jeff Wilson Jr. has not given that. And now he's going up against one of the better and now he's going up against one of the better run defenses. So, hey, can he increase that yard per carry by a yard or 2? I don't know. We'll see. We shall see, man. We shall see. But those are Jeff Wilson Jr. stats over the last, 4 games he's participated in. And obviously, yeah, I agree his yards per carry should increase. But maybe they will. He's going to get, just like against Jacksonville, where he had 19 carries. I think he'll get something like that today. That's what I would imagine. I agree with you, SG Sports. Can't wait for kickoff. Blue True giving us an update on the Cowboys-Washington game. All right. Let's see. JV, just 5s. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says, what's good? Good luck to your 49ers today, Jay. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, JV. Hopefully all is well for you, man. Tommy Huxley. Yeah, man, he hasn't. He's coming back from the meniscus tear. Tommy, you want the guy to average 10 yards a carry, man? Hey, he's slowly getting back into form. Hopefully, he can have a breakout game today against them good old Cincinnati Bengals, man. Hopefully, he can get that 2 yard per carry, maybe up to 4. Maybe up to 4, Tommy. But stats are stats, man. Let's see. SG Sports Talk's giving us an update. He's got the Chiefs winning 38-9 against them good old Sin City Raiders. Let's see. Now let's get into one of my favorite portions of the show, and that's 49ers keys to victory. Let's get into the 49ers keys to victory. So my first key, we gotta protect Jimmy G. That way he has time in the pocket to look to the right and look to the left. We've seen what Jimmy can do when he's protected in the pocket. I'm concerned about the right side, of course, with Tom Compton going up against Sam Hubbard. Sam Hubbard is the second leading sack as far as production, as far as numbers on the Bengals defense. He has 7.5 sacks. And I think there will be some opportunities for Tom Compton, for him to have advantages over Tom Compton. Maybe we send over extra protection for Tom Compton at times, but we got to protect Jimmy. We got to allow him to have time to throw in the pocket. That way he can look for his playmakers. And if Jimmy does that, he makes the right reads, doesn't throw any interceptions, I think the 49ers will be much closer to a victory Sunday. That's for sure. But number one, at the line of scrimmage, we got to win on the 49ers offensive line. And the first step we do, got to protect Jimmy. Let's see. We got a few more comments. Let's see. I never said that was my boy, Tommy. Yeah. Hey, Compton has looked solid in spurts, and he's looked like a sled on a high school football field at times, you know? So I don't know. What Tom Compton will we get today? What Jimmy G will we get today? Those are big questions. Definitely big questions. But he's going to have Tom Compton will have his hands full against Hubbard on that right side of that offensive line. Maybe Jimmy needs to get rid of the ball much quicker than he usually does. That way we can negate the Bengals pass rush. They also have Hendrickson on the left side going up against Trent Williams, but I'm confident in Trent Williams. But that's going to be an interesting matchup because Henderson has 11.5 sacks. He's having a Pro Bowl year. But Trent Williams, he's having an all-pro year. So you got strength against strength. What gives? Tommy says the Bengals lead the league in sacks. Yeah, I think they're top 5. I think they're like maybe 3rd or 4th in sacks. So they do a pretty damn good job getting pressure. Hey, Kelsey, he's one of the best tight ends in the NFL, SG. Make no mistake about it. Let's see. My number 2 is simple. We got to win the turnover battle. When we were on that 3-game winning streak, one of the main reasons we were on that 3-game winning streak is because we were winning the turnover battle. The offense did not turn over the ball. Jimmy did not have any interceptions. We had no fumbles. And the defense was causing turnovers. During that 3-game win streak, we had like 6 turnovers in 3 games. We were averaging 2 turnovers per game. We need to get back to that. And Joe Burrow has proven he will throw the ball to the other team. He's got 14 interceptions. So maybe we can force some turnovers on Joe Burrow, maybe a few peanut punches on their running backs and receivers. But, number 2, we got to win the turnover battle. And if we do that, we give the offense more chances to score. And I think we can score on this defense. It'll be interesting to see if we can do it on the ground, though. We'll see. Number 3, we got to let our playmakers eat. I think Jimmy G I think Kittle needs to be the number 1 target. We've seen what Kittle can do. Almost 200 yards receiving, 2 touchdown catches. Kittle needs to continue to be the primary target. I don't think we're going to use Debo that much. I know he's active. I would just be surprised if he gets a lot of catches or a lot of carries. So I think Kittle's going to be the prime target. Got to get the ball to Ayuk, Jennings, Sherfield, and I don't know really what to expect from Jeff Wilson Jr. Obviously, over the last 4 games, he's averaging under 3 yards a carry. Now, what is he going to do today against one of the top 5 run defenses? But the Bengals are without their best linebacker. So what gives? I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from Jeff Wilson Jr. Hopefully it's better than what we've seen, you know. Let's see. SG says, do you think Jimmy G is a phenomenal quarterback and he can really make impressive plays on the football field? I would say Jimmy G is an average quarterback. He can play above average at times, but I think he's just an average quarterback. I think he can be a starter in this league, but you got to worry about him and his, various injuries that he's had in the past. But when I think of a phenomenal quarterback, unfortunately, Jimmy G does not come to mind. Now, he can make some throws. I think he is tough. He can take hits when he's in the quarterback pocket. But I think best case scenario, he's an above average quarterback, and he could be like a top maybe 12 to 15 on his best day type quarterback in the NFL. We've seen Jimmy do it, but we don't know which Jimmy G we're going to get game to game. And the turnover Jimmy, that's the Jimmy that can't win games. So, but I appreciate the question though, SG. What do you think about Jimmy G? SG, let me know in them comments. Let's see. Tommy feels we use Debo as a decoy today. I could see that. I mean, honestly, don't really want to use him as a decoy. I just think he should sit out because I think we're going to need him in the last 4 games of the year and potentially the playoffs. And you saw it, Tommy. You've seen a hobbled Debo Samuel. That's not really a productive player. So, we'll see, though. We'll see. I'm excited for this game. How are we going to stop these Bengals wide receivers? I mean, I don't know what D'Amico can do, whether it's blitzing Burrow, or because if Burrow has time in the pocket, he's going to eat the secondary up. There's no mistake about that. If he has time, he will eat the secondary up. And can we protect Jimmy G from this pass rush? And can we run the ball? Those are a lot of questions I have for this game. My number 4 key to victory for the faithful, for the Niner Empire. We got to get after Joe Burrow. I said it in the beginning of the show, and I will continue to say it. We got to get after Joe Burrow. Got to make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. Got to make him speed up his processing when he's in the pocket because he's worried about Bosa coming from the left or Arden Key coming from the right or Jordan Willis or Armstead and DJ Jones coming up the middle. I feel like that is our game plan on defense. I mean, you could say that it's for every game, but especially this one when we're missing our top corner in Emmanuel Mosley. Also, Dante Johnson is out. So there are players who are normally on the bench. Now they're thrust into playing. And let's be real, they're not going to be super comfortable playing the cornerback position in the NFL. They don't have much experience. But we got to get after Burrow. I think Bosa can definitely get some pressure on him. But that's going to be the key to the game. And I always love to say the pass rush is a secondary's best friend. If we're able to get after the quarterback, the secondary doesn't have to cover as long. And that's always a success for defense when the secondary doesn't have to cover for longer than is necessary. Tommy says, honestly, this isn't a must-win game. No, it's not. But this is a great test for the 49ers. The Bengals are a young, up-and-coming team. They're also vying for a playoff spot. If they win, they could be tied for the division leagues. I think the Ravens are losing. So this is a great test for the 49ers. I don't know how you feel, Tommy, but I think this team can go to the playoffs, but it just depends on what team we get, and I don't know which team will show up, or I should say, I don't know what Jimmy G is going to show up today. Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to get the bulk of the carries. Will he still average 2 yards per carry? Because that's not going to get it done. 2 yards per carry is not going to get it done in this game. He's got to be much better. That's for sure. Yeah, I know, SG. The Raiders, the Chiefs are beating the brakes off them good old Raiders. Yeah, they're having a they've had a lot of turmoil in their franchise. Ruggs, Gruden, they've had a lot of issues, and it's unfortunate for the Raiders fans. Tommy says, "Don't get me wrong, I want to win." Yeah, man, I want to win too. I want this team to win out. I want this team to have momentum going into the playoffs. So we'll see. We shall see. Now, my last key to victory, is we got to play discipline. During that winning streak, we did not have as many penalties as we've had. Last week against Seattle, we had 10 penalties, and that's not going to get it done. That's not what winning teams do. And especially those penalties on Russell Wilson and the roughing the passer, those are all penalties that can be managed, that can be controlled. You just have to have discipline. And it goes the same with turnovers, turning over the ball, having penalties. Not only when you have penalties, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that's one of the most frustrating things is there's a big run or there's a big catch on offense, and then you see the flag, and then it gets called back. And now instead of a 1st and 10, now you have a 1st and 20 or 1st and 25. It makes the offense's job much harder to try to convert and try to have an extended drive. And then it's really frustrating. It's 3rd down and 10. It's an incomplete pass. And usually that would mean, okay, that team's going to punt. But then there's a flag. And now that team that would have punted is now going to have four new downs. So, that's very, very, very frustrating. But I think those are my keys to a victory. The 49ers can do these 5 things: protect Jimmy, win the turnover battle. Our playmakers need to be productive today. Pressure Burrow and play discipline. I think we can win this game. And for those that are in the chat, feel free to leave a prediction of the game. Feel free to drop a prediction of the game in them comments. And I think the 49ers, it's a tough one. My heart is telling me the 49ers. My brain is saying the Bengals, because I don't know how we're going to stop these wide receivers with our banged up secondary. But I think it will be a close game. I think the 49ers can pull this out. I think it will be close, like a 31-27 49ers. But I could also see the 49ers losing. I'm just being real, based on the weapons that the Bengals have. But I think if we play our game, we don't turn the ball over, I think we can definitely win it. John, what's good? Thanks for tuning in, John. He says, what's good, faithful? Let's get this win. Hopefully our pass rush can get to Burrow to help our secondary. That's going to be the key. That's going to be the main key in this game. I mean, if Burrow throws, let's say if Burrow throws the ball 35 times, like how many of those dropbacks can we really think we're going to get pressure on Burrow? Is it 10 snaps out of those 35 passing attempts that we can get pressure? Is it 15? Like, how much pressure do we really think we can get with our front four? And will DeMeco Ryans blitz? I know I've seen Hufanga blitz very often. That'll be interesting to see what DeMeco Ryans does on defense, because we have to help this banged up secondary. Yes, sir. Actually, a little bit less than that. I say we're about 45 minutes away from kickoff. Let's see. Tommy Huxley gives us his prediction of the 49ers and Bengals game. He's got the Bengals winning. What? He's got the Bengals winning 30, Niners 21. Interesting. Hey, SG Sports Talk, what is your prediction for the Bengals and Niners game? Let me know in them comments. And Tommy, why do you think the Bengals are going to win at home against the 49ers? Let me know, Tommy. John says, offensively, I'm worried about our run game. I think it's hard for Shanahan to have a rhythm if there is no run game. That's a good point, John. I was saying this earlier in the show, maybe if we start out throwing to set up the run, because I think the Bengals already know, okay, the Niners want to run the ball. And I think maybe if we start out passing first to set up the run, maybe that would help. And also we need to offset the Bengals pass rush. And the way we do that, I think, is with a quick passing game. So that way we don't have to worry about Hendricks and Hubbard on the edge coming in for Jimmy. But the Bengals, they do have a top 5 run defense, but they're without their leading tackler and linebacker Wilson. And he plays middle linebacker position. So maybe, I know one guy doesn't, one guy isn't the end all be all for a run defense, but he does lead the team in tackles. That's got to stand for something. But Jeff Wilson Jr., I looked it up. In his last 4 games, he's only averaged under 3 yards a carry. So, and he's had about, I would say at least 40 carries since he's been back the last 4 games. So, hopefully Jeff Wilson Jr. can have a better game because he's going to be the lead rusher, I would say. SG Sports Talk gives us his prediction. He's got the faithful, the Niner Empire, winning 45-3. Wow. That'd be a hell of a game to watch. If that happens, I would imagine there are a lot of turnovers on Cincinnati. Maybe Burrow throws a few picks. Maybe we get a few fumbles. And this Niners offense is just lights out. I can't blame you there, Tommy. But if we can get after Burrow, as you mentioned, as we've all mentioned, John has mentioned, but the thing is, how often can we get after Burrow? If he's got 40 passing attempts, do we really think we can get there half the time? Can we get there 10% of the time? We'll see, man. John's giving us a prediction for the Niners and Bengals game. He's got the Niners winning 28-24. I can see that, John. All right, I like that. I can see that. Hey, happy Christmas, early Christmas to you, SG Sports Talk channel. I appreciate your contributions to the stream today. Tommy says, and Jimmy G is going to throw a pick. That's not going to help. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jimmy G's not going to throw no pick. I know he's strong. He threw 2 last week. Let's see what are Jimmy G's stats so far this year. It's just when you count out Jimmy G's, he has an electric performance, electric. So let's see. Let me share this real quick. Just when you count out Jimmy G, he surprises you. So last week against Seattle, he had the 2 INTs. The week before, he had a 1 interception. Now, can we get this, Jimmy? The Rams versus Jags, Jimmy. Can we get that? He threw for under 200 yards. He had 70% completion rate, 2 TDs in each game, no interception. Can we get that type of Jimmy G performance? But honestly, I think he's going to have to throw a little bit more. compared to the Jags and Rams game. And we dominated the time of possession in those two games against the Jags and Rams. We just ran the ball down those teams' throats, and they didn't really have an answer. You know, and that's the thing. When you look at Jimmy G's game logs, we've just had, which Jimmy G are we going to get? We don't know. We really don't know. Either he's no touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like, don't really know which Jimmy G we're going to get. So we'll see. David says he's done. I am done doing score predictions for now. 49ers by 1 in a nail biter, yelling at the TV style game. I feel like that's every game. Every game I'm always yelling at the TV. So, yeah. SG says Burrow is going to throw for 200 yards, 3 interceptions, and he is going to get sacked 2 times. All right. Hey, I can live with that. Burrow is prone to throw interceptions. Let's look up Joe Burrow's stats. Let's check out the stats. Let's see. Joe Burrow in his games, he's prone to throw the interception as well. He's definitely prone to throw some INTs, and his stat log proves that. You look at Joe Burrow's stats. Look at his stats. He throws the interception, just as much as Jimmy, if not more. Last week against the Chargers, 2 interceptions. Against the Steelers, he threw 1 interception. Against the Browns, he threw 2. So Joe Burrow is prone to throw that INT, and maybe this defense can capitalize on that. John says, I expect Jimmy to have at least 1 turnover per game. He's a decent quarterback, not elite. Any more turnovers, then I think we'll lose. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think we're not good enough to have 2 turnovers or lose the turnover battle and win the game. I just think we got to put our best foot forward. Jimmy, take the sack if you have to, or Jimmy, throw the ball away. Do what you got to do, Jimmy, but, don't hurt the team by turning over the ball. So, but I appreciate everyone coming on to the Jay in the Bay live show with the 49ers and Bengals. I appreciate all the MVPs and all their contributions in the chat. I love having a lively chat, and you guys always bring it. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone watching Jay in the Bay, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I appreciate that. We did have some super chats today. I think there's 2 by Luke Luna, 1 by Blue True, and 1 by Let's Get It GA. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate the kind donations to the Jay in the Bay YouTube channel. You guys are too kind. And this is going to be a great game. I haven't really seen the Bengals play live because obviously we haven't played them. It's the first time we're playing them this year. So I'm excited to see Joe Mixon. I'm excited to see Joe Burrow. He was the number 1 overall pick, last year or 2 years ago. Excited to see the young trio of Bengals wide receivers. The Bengals got a good defensive line. Let's see how our 49ers offensive line can block. And man, I'm excited to see, Kittle again. I'm excited to see what Jeff Wilson Jr. can do against this run defense. I'm excited to see Lenore and Ambry Thomas get an opportunity on the defensive side of the ball. Fred Warner will be back. How will that affect this defense with Fred Warner and Aziz lined up side by side? So that'll be, nice to see. Also, 49ers First Takes. He did his super chat as well. Appreciate that, Blue True. And hot diggity dog. Appreciate that super chat, John. Appreciate that donation to the channel, man. And I will have a post-game live stream tonight. It'll either be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see what comes to pass. But yeah, man, I can't wait for the game. Oh yeah, an SG Sports Talk channel. The game starts at 1:25 Pacific Standard Time. So we're about, I don't know, 40 minutes away from kickoff. So everyone have a great rest of your Sunday. Hopefully it will be a victory Sunday for the faithful, for the Niner Empire. And like I said, I think the Niners will take this game 31-27. And thank you all for your continued support. I can't thank you guys enough. And I appreciate everyone liking the stream. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Jay in the Bay. And go Niners. I think we can definitely win this game. And I appreciate everyone's continued support. Go Niners. And I will see you guys. Go Niners. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go Niners.